So today I thought I'd bring you guys just another video. So I wanted to always talk about computers and how they're relevant and what I do with them and stuff like that. So I like buying and selling, I like flipping, I like the art of just making a bit of money over the top. Now, my expertise is in these things. I've been to George Brown College, this and that, and I build these things quite a bit. So someone asked me, well, what are you doing with that Dell? I always see you posting some Dells or HPs. Now, those are transplanted computers. So let's talk about computer transplanting. When you have a computer like this that you want to turn into this, you're going to have to do some surgery to make that happen. That's not very easy to happen. So you got to take the CPU off, you got to take the RAM off, you got to replace those things if you want to have another computer. So you got to do 2 transplants technically if you want to flip 2 computers like what I end up doing, because people see my Dells and they're great machines too, because when I transplant them, I'll get an i3, I'll get a respectable CPU that you may not need for browsing the web, using Facebook, playing a couple games, editing some video or photos. You don't need an i7 or an i5 for that these days. Those little i3s, 3.7 gigahertz, those are fast enough. Those work great. You need the better CPUs when you want to render faster, less time, you're doing more work, you need to get more done. But otherwise, I'm rendering 4K right now from this camera on a little i3 box in there, and it's working fine. No problems, no issues. It takes a little longer than the i5 or i7, but I batch it up, I let that thing run, and it runs less wattage than having a bunch of machines that are i7s or i5s. Either way, this little box had an i7 6700 and 32 gigs of RAM, DDR4, and I said to myself, wow, what a deal. I mean, that was at the price of the CPU. This whole box with this CPU, because I've already taken it out, I've done the transplanting. That's the CPU here that I bought used. I bought brand new motherboards, I buy used CPUs, and the RAM comes in these machines, and this all used. So this is a cool thing too. Battery backup. If you have a $1,000 and up system, you better sell it with a battery backup, because this is for a client of mine who likes my content, likes what I do, likes everything that I'm all about, and they said to me, you know what? Transplant me an i7 and get me a cost on it. So this is a $1,200 system that would have cost them $1,800, $1,900 elsewhere. This with GTX 1070 in it. This is a really high-end system. 16 gigs of DDR4. I'm only keeping 16 in the other system here, and it's going to be great. So I may not show you all the little building, this and that, but I'm just going to tell you the main components. i7 6700, 16 gigs of RAM. This other machine I'll sell with 16 gigs of RAM with an i3 6100. And between that, you could flip. So you take one machine, you buy a couple components, you buy motherboard, you buy case, you buy power supply, so that you could take this and put it in there. So that's basically the transplanting process. The transplanting process is very simple. What you do, you take a computer, Dell, HP, Lenovo, whatever you want to call them, and you transplant. Now to do that, you need a motherboard to house the CPU, you need RAM from the system, you need a case, power supply. The GPU should be everything on there, the hard drive you're going to take from there too, and you put that all in there. If you want to keep the other system, you will need to get another CPU for it. You'll need to save some of the RAM for it if you can, otherwise buy new RAM for it, and you have to get another hard drive for it. Luckily, I always have a couple hard drives around. I'm going to throw another 500 in here. Take the 500 out of here because it's already got the install and everything from the i7. Boom, apply in there. You don't even have to redo the operating system. You maybe do an operating system on here and resell. 1200, 450, 1650 off of less than $700 in parts. So you do the math, you're basically doubling your money in a couple hours, and you can't do that every day. Maybe system every month, maybe, if you're lucky. But keep flipping. If you flip computers, or if you transplant computers, or if you like buying and selling stuff, or if you're into any of this kind of stuff, I want you to leave a comment below, and I want you to let me know. I want to hear your little bit of a story, and I hope to hear something and actually gain a little community back and forth with you guys. Thanks a lot. Take it easy.